Hello dear students, ready for another lesson? In today's lesson, we will continue to bring our slideshow into life. For now, we have only the basic slider structure, the necessary files, etc. It's working, but we still need to bring the images and some informations to the screen. We want this to be done as dynamically as possible. In fact, the less work the user has to do to make this region of the theme work, the better. And I know a very easy way to do that, the WordPress page mechanism itself. Actually, after a lot of testing, I came to the conclusion that this would be the only possible way out. Let's understand how we are going to do that. For our slider, we need the following fields. We need an image that will stay at the bottom, a title, a subtitle, a button that will have a text, and a URL, a link. Well, we can get the most of these elements from a page. The image can be retrieved from the featured image field, the title will come from the page title itself, and the subtitle can come from the page content, from everything inside the text editor. Only the button text and the URL will be missing. Unfortunately, you cannot do this using only page structure, but we can combine that with Theme Customizer. Do you remember the customizer? We can use it creating fields that the user can fill in. The only downside is that they will have to go to 2 locations in order to create the slider. But if you want to have a theme that doesn't depend on plugins and that can be a good candidate to enter the Hall of Fame of WordPress.org, this is the path we should follow. Well, we are in good company. There are several themes that do the same thing that I'm going to teach you from now on. Let's go then. Well, initially our slider will let the user add only 3 slides to the home page. So let's get everything ready for our tests. We'll create 3 pages in the WordPress admin, and for each of them I'll fill with the title, some text in the main editing area, and a featured image. But before we start filling our pages, we'll need to create an image size that will be used specifically on our slides. That image will be the page's featured image. I don't want this featured image to be of any random size. I want it to always have a height of 800 pixels, so that it always fits correctly into the slider space. For this, I need to make WordPress create a specific image size, which has at least 800 pixels in height every time I upload a new image into some content. This will also work for the posts. But for now, let's focus on pages, okay? If you head over to Settings, Media, you see that WordPress has some specific image sizes. A smaller image, called Thumbnail, which by default has the size of 150 pixels by 150 pixels, and other images in Medium, Large, and an intermediate size that doesn't appear here. We can also create our own custom image size. To do this, we have to register the new image size in the functions.php file. Let's open up the file and add one more line here in the theme configuration function. Let's call the function add _image _size. The first parameter of this function is a name for the custom image size. Let's call it fancy-lab-slider. Okay? The next parameter are the width of the image in pixels. Let's pass 1920. The height, like I said, it will be 800 pixels. We can also add another array of arguments in here, giving instructions on how WordPress should crop this image. Let's go like this. Center, center. This will cause the image to be cropped right in the center. We could also choose other values like left, top, etc. Anyway, there are several possible combinations. If you want to know more, I will leave a link to a very complete article on the subject, okay? Now, when we upload any image into WordPress, it will try to create an image that is exactly 1920 by 800 pixels. This won't happen, of course, only if the image is too small. Later, you understand how to apply this in the code, okay? Okay, let's create 3 pages then. the way, the images I'm using here are available in the extra material of this lesson, okay? And that's it for this lesson. Now we need to get the customizer structure ready to use, but that's for the next lesson. So, until then.